Welcome to Kiwistyle TV. Today we're making apple crumble. Okay, so this is just a standard apple crumble. I had a couple of apples sitting around in the kitchen and I thought I'll try and make something. So it's a bit of an inspired by apple crumble. So what I'm doing now is I've got a couple of the older apples sitting in the fridge and I just started peeling them. And that's the best way to use the fruit that's not necessarily the freshest because you're just going to cook it up anyway. So here we go. The other ingredients I've got here include I've got some shop bought tin peaches. I'm going to pad it out a little bit with that because I've only got 2 apples. I've got some butter, and as you probably know, it's really important to measure these things, but I don't really measure. I just seem to cook with what I feel, so I guess it's probably a couple of tablespoons of butter. And I think later on you'll see there'll be a bit of sugar, and sometimes I'll add a couple of cloves or some cinnamon. It really just depends what I've got in the cupboard. So we're nearly finished peeling the apples now. It's one of my favourite things, peeling apples. Gives me plenty of time to think about what I'm going to do next. So we'll grab a knife and we'll slice up the apples. Be careful not to get the core in there. It's one of the things I quite often do, and I end up having to cut them again to remove the bits of the core, as you can see. Okay, so once you've removed the cores, now go through and just slice the apple just roughly into the baking container. Don't know what you call that, a baking container or an oven ready baking tray. You can cut them as rough as you like. It usually helps to keep them around a similar size, that way they cook evenly. So this is for the base of the apple crumble, so obviously the crumble is going to come next. Okay, so we've nearly finished cutting up the apple. So next, it's quite a technical bit. Okay, it's not that technical. I'm just opening the tin of sliced peaches. Normally, you could cut these peaches up if you like. I normally remove the juice and pour the peaches on top. But you can, you could cut them if you were fussy. I'm not really a fussy person. I'm just gonna mash them all up in the baking dish like that. There we go. Try and distribute the peaches evenly. Everyone likes a little bit of peach with their apple crumble. Well, I don't know if that's true yet, but I'll tell you how this tastes later. So I use raw sugar. You could use white sugar, but yeah, usually I just put a couple of tablespoons of sugar in there. Some people prefer more, some people prefer less, but the fruit has quite a lot of sugar in it, and adding a little bit of extra sugar helps it to caramelize and makes a nice kind of light brown colour for the main part of the pie. Okay, that's the base done. So now we're going to get into the crumble, which is my favourite bit. The crumbles, you can pretty much do whatever you like with these, but I've got a cup of flour there. So I take a cup of flour usually, and then I've microwaved the butter. You see the butter, and this is my favourite bit. Couple more tablespoons of sugar. Gives the base a little bit of flavour. You can add more or less. Make a little hole in the middle and add in the butter and mix the butter. And you know how mixing works with these things. What you want to do is get in there with your hands. So in a second I'll get in there with my hands and really mix it up so you can make the base nice and the topping nice and crumbly. Here we go. It's a great feeling. It smells great, this bit actually. Look at that. See the crumble forming? Nice light brown colour. Now you could make, this is kind of a standard crumble, and you could use this, and a lot of people do. But what I like to do is I like to jazz it up a little bit. So I'll wash my hands now, and I'll go across and I'll get the secret ingredient. A couple of secret ingredients here. Anyone guess what that is? Just a few rolled oats. A few rolled oats gives that crumble a little bit of texture, and they go nice and, you know, dark golden brown when you cook them. And as well as that, a little bit of granola. So that's granola mixed with cornflakes, and I've got a few dates in there as well that I've added. So I'll mix that up with the crumble. It's beautiful. Makes a really nice Moorish topping to the crumble. A little bit different from your average apple crumble, I think. So it's an acquired taste, but you know, I recommend you try it. And then on the top, evenly spread it out so it cooks relatively evenly. I like to make an apple crumble when I'm cooking something else, so usually I'll just make one of these and stick it in the oven, and you can like cook two for the price of one, which is great. Okay, a little bit, I'm using the maple syrup here, but you can use a little bit of golden syrup, or even just sprinkle a bit of sugar on top. And here's another secret ingredient, a little bit of lemon juice. Normally I'd use a normal real lemon, just squeeze it on top, but that's what I had in the fridge today, so spreading it evenly across the top. This will also help the top of the apple crumble caramelize a little bit. And there you go. Put it in the oven at 160 degrees for 20 to 40 minutes, and you've got a beautiful apple crumble.